As we speak, crews are taking down miles of high security fencing and barriers throughout downtown. This is new video of that happening tonight. 7 News' Christian Flores is live at Lafayette Square. And Christian, we saw some of that removal live at 10 o'clock. What about now? What are you seeing?
Well, again, we're seeing a lot more what we saw about an hour ago. Actually, a lot more. You can still see more concrete barriers being taken out, putting on top of this flatbed truck, and this is just part of it. You mentioned that miles of fencing around the city. A few hours ago, starting around 6 o'clock even, we started seeing crews take down some of that fence. Now you can still see it's still a good chunk left up around Lafayette Square and near the White House. But we also want to show you video from earlier today, because we spent our day out here like so many other Trump supporters, walking around the White House area to figure out the best vantage point to see his motorcade. Because the inaugural parade was moved inside, law enforcement allowed the public to set up near motorcade routes. And around 7:15 tonight, after his speech at Capital One Arena, we saw President Trump's motorcade arrive at the White House. You should be seeing that on your screen right now. Now, even though supporters who bought inauguration tickets were disappointed everything moved indoors, they still tried to make the most of today.
We're just kind of walking around trying to, be with other supporters, talk to other people, be out in the warm sunshine and make the most of it.
We booked our hotels back in March before really the campaign kicked off, but we just felt so confident that President Trump would win.
This is going to be a historic event, no matter what it is. Even with the cold, it just shows how many people are here, how much support there is.
Now, these cleanup operations are such a big task, so you could expect to see a lot of the parking restrictions and road closures for the rest of the night, although a lot of that will start to open back up as we get to tomorrow morning. Reporting live at Lafayette Square, Christian Flores, 7 News.
Christian, thank you. And that cleanup isn't just the security barriers. Take a look at what crews outside Capital One Arena were faced with as spectators inside enjoyed the parade. Piles of trash and belongings left behind. They even brought in some heavy equipment just to clear it all. 7 News' Josh Chapin is live near Capital One tonight. And Josh, how does that area look tonight?
Well, Scott, you'd think after all those hours after this event wrapping up, it would be fine, but absolutely not. It's still gridlock around here. We're at 6th and K Street, and a lot of the reason why you still see the heavy police presence here. And then up and down these streets, we've seen MPD as well. If you look a little bit farther down there, you see the police presence. We talked to folks that were coming out of Capital One a short time ago. The arena is just down the way here. We also talked to a woman who had to ditch her things outside the arena earlier.
A sea of President Trump supporters poured out into the streets of Chinatown tonight, many clad in hats and shirts, anything they could show off to display their joy that he's the president once again.
We were fortunate. We didn't get in line until about 5 a.m.
And barely made it in. We were one of the last people in.
We stopped and chatted with Mary Ann and Chapman Ellis from Mobile, Alabama. Mary Ann was one of those who had to ditch her small bag into this pile outside the arena. She lost a charger and gloves along with it.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Great vibes. Everybody was excited.
I ditched nothing because I was prepared, because I go to New England Patriots games.
Debbie McElroy is from outside Boston. She got into the inauguration viewing party, too.
It was fun. It was just surreal to be able to be represented here at a inauguration. I've never done it before. So.
Why did you feel like you wanted to come to this?
Because I love Trump. I love Trump, and I'm so glad that he's our new president.
Others who couldn't get in dipped into restaurants on 8th Street to watch on TVs, barricades stopping folks from crisscrossing any streets in the area, law enforcement at every checkpoint.
I've lived in this country 56 years, and I've never wanted to go to inauguration. This is the first time I wanted to come.
Lee Mills is from Florida. She didn't mind she couldn't get in today.
I think the voters saved our country single-handedly. We would have had no country if Trump had not won. That's how I feel. So I wanted to thank him and be here to support him.
And Scott, we know that there is always a sort of a heavy police presence no matter the neighborhood you look at, but it is extra tonight here, not too far from Capital One Arena. And a lot of the reason that folks are able to make their way through the barricades is by showing reservations they had for either restaurants or hotels. You see a cavalry of police officers that are coming down the street right now And of course, the folks who live around here, work around here, are hopeful there'll be a little bit of return to normalcy, hopefully by tomorrow.